Yeah, no, I'm just sat here. I'm just sat here taking my time. All right, yeah, I'll shush now.
Right, okay. Hello, everyone. We're doing the restart now. We apologise. There was desyncs, there was lag. You know the drill. It's an F1 2017 lobby. But for good news, well, good news for some. Good news for Langman and Gorsh, who made a bit of contact, if you remember, if you were watching the stream, into turn one last time. Hopefully they won't do the same again now. But we can only ponder, I guess. Langman will want a much better start this time as well, because he got a good launch. The initial launch was really good. Just couldn't get it all hooked up down towards turn one. So we're going to be doing, these drivers will now do, well, this would, instead of 33 laps, they will now complete 43 laps, technically speaking. But, yeah, we know that Feisty Ted also, it was Feisty Ted that had the desync with Melanie. So, well, we believe, that is Sky Source. It is Sources.
Bosley Sources. That's the one.
Bosley Sources. Yeah, Bosley Sources. And also, yeah, we found out we'll digress about the features because we need to get on with this. The car's now coming down towards the grid. Jason had a pretty massive margin, and to be honest, this restart makes it all worthwhile for those guys behind him because they feel now, we know kind of what he's like, whether he's going to be quick or not, and, well, they should hope that he's quick because he most definitely is. But we are coming then close onto the grid and waiting for mostly the right-hand side of the grid to fill up. Everyone from the left seems to have disqualified themselves, so keeps it all even Stevens. But it is 5 relights for the Spanish Grand Prix. And this time it's lights out and away we go, and it looks like a pretty good start once again from Jason. Actually, Langman's got a pretty good initial launch once again, but Jason isn't going to lose the lead through turn one. I'm not sure whether he's going to lose it at all. And where you've one of the Force Indians of Reynolds has got a tremendous start. It's a P3. Gorsh just gone wide again through turn one, and it's down into P4. Hamilton moving up positions. Feisty Ted has lost positions. Joe has moved up again, and we are going to see some more action. I'm sure the two Toro Rosso are going side by side down in towards the turn number 4 there, but nothing comes of it, and there's a Red Bull sideways as well through there. So all-rounder's getting punted once again with Bottas behind. And Bottas is, there's all sorts of carnage going on in the background, and Langman is managing to keep the distance between himself and Jason. So that is one to watch. Joe is out of the race already on lap 1. Joe is out. What has happened to Joe then?
Joe is, I can't quite remember what turn that is. I think that's turn 6 or 7. He is out, has lost the left front tyre, so I didn't quite catch the incident, but his
Hamilton
left front is gone.
Past Gorsh as well. Reynolds is up into 5th, but there's a Toro Rosso who's gone straight off. That's Maranzano, who's gone into the gravel. He's been punted, I think, by his teammate Feisty Ted, who had a desync last time, and now Maranzano dropped all the way to the back of the field. Back up the front though, Jason still leads from Langman. It is still remaining a pretty slender margin. Feisty Ted is all over the back of Gorsh though for P5 in this race. Can he get a move done on Gorsh? Gorsh hasn't looked pretty strong off the starts of the last race, and I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to hold back Feisty Ted this time either. And through turn 1, Gorsh is squeezing him. Can Feisty get him around? Feisty Ted gets him around the outside, and through turn number 3. And he's still going side by side with him. Gorsh is squeezing him out again. Can he get this move done under braking? Sure as hell he can. Gorsh is going to throw it back up the inside. And it is tremendous racing between the two of them. I wonder if Feisty Ted's going to get a move up the inside. And all-rounder's lost it. Loses the back end through turn 4 there. And up the inside goes Feisty Ted this time. And into P5 goes Feisty Ted this time. And there you go. He's finally got past Gorsh.
Yes, great racing from the two guys there, side by side for a good few corners in the first sector. Feisty Ted's had a moment.
Nearly lost it.
That was
and
close.
Hamilton's up the inside of Reynolds, has got through into 3rd. Reynolds has lost position there to Hamilton, who's now into 3rd place. And wow, some of these cars are dropping like flies at the start here. Also got, Reynolds is just on the back. Gorsh lost position. Well, should have gained position. I think did gain a position on Feisty Ted, and Feisty Ted was quick to respond and gets back past him. Langman actually has lost a lot of time, and I think the middle sector as well. So yeah, the host has left the session, which is absolutely brilliant for all intents and purposes. But now we're going to wait and see whether Reynolds can get back up behind Hamilton. So I mean, it's going to be tough for him because he made it look pretty easy, Hamilton. And yeah, Bottas is now close up behind Gorsh as well. So Gorsh maybe lose yet another position. Project is P8 at the moment in the Ferrari. He wasn't really mentioned last time. I think he got into contact on the start. Actually, no, the host didn't leave. I do apologise. Joe wasn't the host. It was Pred who was the host, so that's okay. So let's see.
Out. Sorry, James. But when we were watching Gorsh and Ted, we did mention it slightly. All-rounder had a bit of a moment. I've kept an eye on him for the last couple of laps, and he seems to be struggling a lot to the guys around him. He is the only remaining hard tyre runner, so it might be to do with that, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, and that's Reynolds going off. Reynolds has gone off coming through that corner there. He's going to squeeze out feisty Ted. He nearly made contact. He may have made contact with the Toro Rosso, and he's going to maybe, is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is. Reynolds is in, so he may change onto another set of tyres, and V6 is out of the race as well. Gorsh is under pressure. Reynolds has retired. Bottas is now looking for a way past. There's plenty of cars making up positions now, and I wonder whether Bottas will be one of them against Gorsh.
Reynolds is out as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're now down to 14 drivers. Yeah, 14 drivers. I saw V6 did crash. The camera was quite awkward, so I couldn't actually catch where. But yeah, he did lose it somewhere and was in the barriers.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of the guys who started on hards last time have actually started on. Well, it's a similar strategy for most of these guys in the pack as well. So I mean, if you can imagine Joe, I mean, he's going to be really frustrated, surely, because hards to mediums, he may have had the pace.
All-rounder.
But now, gosh, all-rounder, has he lost it?
Yeah, all-rounder has lost it. Gone off.
Oh, yeah, indeed he has. Through turn, just before turn 9.
Retiring.
Could well be another retirement. Oh, dear me. So Bottas is looking pretty feisty up behind Gorsh then. I wonder whether he's going to... I don't really know how to word these next few lines, but we're going to go with it. Pred has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that is too many corner cuts for you, my friend. Also, I believe someone else had a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. I could be wrong.
That was Melanie.
Melanie, yeah. Okay, so Melanie got a penalty there then. And Bottas is getting very close up behind once again Gorsh, and I'm not sure if Gorsh is going defensive and then coming back onto the inside line. I've seen he's very aggressive and all-rounder. Then another penalty casualty, a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So don't be doing that when you come into the pits. Very weird pit entry this one, because he seems to go, I don't know, it's just basically follows the final corner round, doesn't it? You just got to brake as hard as you possibly dare. But now we're going to see if Bottas can finally get past this Williams, who he's been behind now for some time with Gorsh, and still isn't able to get past him. But I think JP looks pretty close on the back of Pred. Indeed he is. The two McLarens going at it once again, and I wonder whether JP is going to get a better run than Pred, and indeed he doesn't, actually coming through the turn there. This is only a battle for P9 at the moment, and JP nearly losing it on the exit. I thought... No, I'm wrong. Leave me out. I thought... No, actually, no, I am. Was Matty Bolton not in a McLaren?
No, Matty Bolton was definitely in a Renault.
No, he was, but he was in the wrong car at first. He should be in a Renault.
Oh, okay,
right.
I see. But anyway, now we're going to see JP moving to the outside, whether he can get a move done on his teammate. There's no team orders, it looks like, between these two, and they're sticking together well. And Bottas has lost a position to actually Project, so I'm not sure how he's managed that one. And JP and Pred going side by side again. They're trying to squeeze each other out, the two McLarens, needing to take each other out nearly, and up the inside goes Matty Bolton and takes the two positions off them. So that probably wasn't the idea they had in mind, the two McLarens. And now he's going to throw it.
Pred going to go back down the inside.
Oh, he's made a little bit of contact there with Matty Bolton. He's squeezing him out, Matty Bolton. He's going to be able to hold off Pred. I'm not sure whether he is, whether the two McLarens are able to get back past him, make contact on the exit there through turn 9. It's been absolute carnage down towards the head of the chicane there.
Matty Bolton's round.
Yep, not what he needs. Melanie's got past Bottas. Has Bottas got... yes, he does have
he's got
damage.
Left front left end plate.
So how has
So
he
that
done
would
that?
explain. Well, he's a good 6 seconds behind Gorge, 6-7 seconds. So something's happened as he boxes.
From his front wing
now.
Yeah, so Melanie up into P7 then, and Project up into P6 on those medium tyres, and let's not forget he will probably do a one-stop this race now. That is quite crucial for Project.
Bottas, hard
good
tyres.
position for him to be in. Hard tyres, okay.
That's to the end.
And,
Most likely.
Definitely. Gerard Hamilton isn't too far away from Langman either. That will be one to watch. Langman running P2 this race. He was running all the way, well, the back end of the top 10 last race because he lost, well, he got punted by Gorsh into turn 1. So, I mean, not ideal for him. But, I mean, to be fair, they're maintaining a good gap. I mean, I'm pretty sure the gap last race when we did it was a lot bigger between the top two because Jason hasn't been able to pull away just yet. Hamilton has a 3-second time penalty, so there you go. Langman shouldn't feel too under pressure if he does get past because, of course, he has a penalty now, Hamilton, so not ideal for him and probably not really in the good books there. But I wonder how long do these soft tyres last for? That's what I'm most interested in. Is it? I wouldn't know. So,
well, they're fresh, so I'm gonna say around like 11, 12 maybe at a push.
Oh, Langman's gone wide. He's gone wide. He's lost the back end.
That's Langman, yeah.
He ran straight into him again. Oh my goodness. Oh, hang on. Has he got a puncture? No, he hasn't got a puncture. He just lost it on the exit. Now he's going to really struggle to find traction and catch back up to Feisty Ted, who he should be quicker than because he did have a pretty good lead, but can't really say that in motorsport, I'm afraid, because it doesn't always work out that way. Let's see if Langman can get back past the Toro Rosso of Feisty Ted. He hasn't actually had to pass him yet, so he won't be getting back past. He'll be trying to get ahead of him once again. So let's see whether he's going to be good enough on the traction, because once you heat those rear tyres up, it is so difficult to find the limits of grip on the rear, and that might just hold his charge in this one. And that gap now between Hamilton and Jason is 5 seconds between those two, but Langman, he's not getting close enough under the braking zone there. Only P4 this race so far. I'm not, well, in the championship he hasn't been overly impressive, I would say, but he's not. I think he's actually towards the back end of the top 10 in that respect as well. Quote me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's only finished one race, but he did get a third place. But also point out, I was on board with Langman just a second ago, and his tyres don't look in the best shape 9 laps into this Grand Prix. That spin would obviously impacted them even more as Ted locks up slightly going into T1. But I'd probably expect Langman to be one of the first guys to come in.
Yeah, funny you say, I think exactly, well, I mean, I'm on board with him as well, and he looks exactly the same, just not great. You can see kind of, that was lag. Okay, that was very, very lucky that was lag, to be fair, because it would have sent Ted straight into a barrier, which isn't ideal, especially when you're racing, of course. But now we're going to see Langman is right up behind him once again through turn 9, through turn 10, I believe that is, getting very close on the back. This Toro Rosso, whether he's going to move to the inside, is he going to be able to get it done late on the brakes? Indeed he is. He's throwing it up the inside, and Feisty locking up a little bit, but Langman's up the inside and takes P3 in this race. So he's back onto the podium as it stands, and he's got to close up half a second to Hamilton to be able to reduce the margin of the penalty that Hamilton, of course, has. He has a 3-second penalty in this race, so he needs to be able to close that gap back up. I wonder when, well, I don't believe we're too far away from the pit stop window. He may even be on it,
no.
Who knows? But Feisty Ted is now going to be able to try and get back past, well, he's going to try and get back past. Whether he will or not is a different story. Through turn 1, isn't close enough yet through 1 and 2, and he's going to struggle, as we've said in the past, to get back past. him. Gorsh has gone off at turn 1 again. That's the third time this race he's gone straight on at turn 1.
Yeah, Gorsh seems to be struggling quite a bit at T1, T2. The first chicane, I don't know whether he's got a problem, maybe a brake balance issue. The seat does keep locking up, so it might be a bit of a brake balance issue. But not too sure. Maybe a bit of a setup problem.
He did also, well, from what I've heard, I mean, Twitter is a good founder of this, but he hasn't really been on this game too often. I mean, that would say a lot. I mean, I'm not too sure why you league race if you don't, one, have motivation for it, two, you know, haven't practiced at all for it. I mean, it seems a little bit pointless, but I digress because I guess it's up to him. And in case any driver as well, it's not just him. I have seen it in the past as well. But Cyril Hamilton is supposed to make a... Yeah, he gets a penalty. So Hamilton is in. Feisty Ted is in as well. Follows in the Sauber. So Langman will take second place in this race. And it's going to be interesting to see what tyres these guys decide to go on. I would feel that Hamilton, let's just see, goes on to medium tyres. So he can go on to a set of... Well, hang on. What is he on?
Mediums.
Softs. He's on medium. He is on medium. What
mediums.
the hell's going on there? Feisty Ted then is... Oh, Hossa Al-Zugari is in a wall.
Where
and
is that?
Through just before the chicane into the final corner.
Yeah, that is. I reckon he's lost it on the curb going into the new section. Just lost traction and gone into the wall. Collected that barrier at Orange. Yeah. 12 years old, but
12 years, yeah. And now we'll look at Maranzano's getting past Matty Bold into the points is now Maranzano. Maranzano actually managed to get, I believe, into pole position last time in Russia, but wasn't able to finish on the podium that race, and is now into P10 in this one. Gorsten is back up into the podium places. He is P3. Project isn't too far behind. He needs to try and grab that DRS because let's not forget he's now probably on the one
Langman
stop.
pits.
Yeah, now this is interesting. Where will he come out in relation to Hamilton? That is, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but I don't know why. Project is through as well, and now Melanie is also into the pits as well, and he's had a pretty good start to this one. So it's interesting to see where last year's 2-2 driver will come out. And I think Langman's actually going to lose position. Indeed, he does. He's not actually come out ahead of...
Melanie's got his 5-second time penalty. And that's a McLaren in. That is Pred.
I think... Oh, yeah. So Feisty Ted is actually staying behind Langman as it is now. 3-second time penalty.
Speaking of Ted.
Yeah, he's got a 3-second time penalty. Also, we need to add now quickly that Project is getting right onto the back of Gorsh in the Williams. So this is a battle between the two who are on a very similar strategy. Now, I wonder if Project's going to be able to get past Gorsh. Gorsh has looked pretty aggressive, it has to be said. So I wonder whether he's going to be losing a little bit of time. And through the left-hander he goes. He stays ahead. Of course, through there. I mean... DRS on in these cars is nearly pointless if you're, say, 8/10 behind a car because you can't get close. It just isn't really possible. You're seeing it on these images now, but actually into the pits comes Project already on medium tyres. Now he's going for the undercut. Yeah. I'm guessing he's going to go onto a set of the hard tyres. And he can go to the end, get the undercut on Gorsh. What he probably doesn't know is that Gorsh has got a 3-second time penalty. I wonder what Jason.
But he's still going to cover that off.
JP into P4 then.
Yeah, Jason's tyres aren't looking in best of shapes, but Jason seems to be almost definitely on the one stop. I think most of these guys are on the one stop, but.
I think, well, to be honest, it's got to be a lot harder on soft hard than medium hard, definitely. So, yeah, I think that's probably one to watch, to be honest, on terms of tyre wear. I mean, tyre wear isn't awful around here, but I mean, you don't want to take the risk, I feel. I mean, it's a bit, touch and go.
There's always a risk, especially on that front left going through, likes turn 3.
Jason's in.
Final corner, etc. Yeah,
Jason, yeah,
in from
Jason has
pits.
just pit then. So this is going to be interesting to see what he comes out, what position he'll come out. And he should come out in the lead and pretty firmly at that as well. Because he is a long, long way ahead. He's 25 seconds, I think, ahead of Hamilton. So, well, around.
Are they mediums?
Gorsh will then.
They are mediums. Jason's onto the set of the mediums. Wow. Well, this race has got interesting.
Hamilton goes fastest again. Gorsh he's going to come out behind Gorsh now. Oh, sector 3, there is a collision somewhere, and it's JP, and JP was actually right in a scrap with Langman and Feisty Ted. So the McLaren is off the road, and I wonder whether that is the end of his race. Matty Bolton is coming in as well.
Indeed
now,
it is.
JP is left, yeah, so that is his race over. Which was Melanie's P9.
Which is interesting to point out, SRL Hamilton is also on the medium tyres. So Hamilton definitely not going to the end. I don't think Jason's going to be able to... Jason might be able to do 19 laps, but it will be a push. And he won't be very fast.
Yeah,
but
it is a... Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say much because I'm quite clearly not on a right position to call someone's strategy. But Feisty Ted is getting pretty close up behind Langman once again. These two are on very... well, actually, Langman's on a set of... Well, one lap hold. Well, yeah. Oh, Gorsh is into the pits already, and so he doesn't hold up Jason. And Gorsh should go on to the hards, you feel.
It'd be the
Hamilton then is
logical decision. Indeed he is.
Definitely. The Gorsh will try and come back out, and I mean, whilst we're saying that, Feisty Ted seems to be getting closer.
Project's going to get past him.
That's a pretty good lap, actually. Yeah, Project is going to jump Gorsh, and indeed does. He's into P5 now as Project, and in the Ferrari, he jumps up into P5. So ahead of Gorsh, which isn't going to be ideal for Gorsh, although Gorsh now should be on a bit of a charge. He doesn't need to stop again. Some of these guys may stop again, but it's going to be costly on their tyres. It's a bit of ifs and buts, I feel. I'm not sure whether... I mean, you probably can get to the end, but it's whether you take the risk, I think. I mean, it's going to be difficult.
Everyone has pit so far. Cyril Hamilton hit on lap 10. So I don't think he's going to be able to do 23 laps on a set of mediums. That's going to be a struggle. If he can do that, that would be one mighty job from the Sauber driver. But my thoughts is he's going to have to pit again at some point, and he's most likely going to go into the set of the soft tyres at the end, around lap 22, 23.
Feisty Ted is getting and pressurising Langman once again. He's only 3 tenths. He's right on the back of that Renault. And you'll be seeing slipping, well, he'll be slipping and sliding up behind. I was trying a pun, but because I slipped the tongue, it didn't work. So now we're going to see Feisty Ted right up behind Langman as we come down in towards turn 1. I wonder if he's going to be close enough. I know, as I said, 8 tenths of a second is, you know, pretty much impossible. I mean, he's a lot closer than 8 tenths through there, but he's just cannot get this move done. Langman runs a little bit wide through turn 3, and I wonder whether that's going to compromise his exit and whether Feisty Ted's going to get a good enough exit. No, he indeed hasn't. So, yeah, he stays behind for now. And Langman will be trying to defend like crazy, you feel, because, you know, Langman is on technically fresher tyres, although by a lap, but I mean, he should be able to withstand it. He should have the graining on those tyres to be able to just keep him behind. This is going to be interesting then. With, again, DRS, he's probably not close enough, but let's just see with the DRS if he can get closer to Langman. Can't quite do it, goes very late on the brakes, so he can sort of maximise his run, and Pred is out of the race, and he's binned it through turn 3, so another weird place to have a casualty in this one, and he is out of the race.
He's destroyed that McLaren. Yeah, he has destroyed that McLaren. Don't know how he's collected the left
lost it through
front
turn
right.
2. And
turn
like
2 and maybe come across the track.
Yeah.
Well, his front wing is behind him. Virtual safety car has been deployed.
VSC has been deployed I wonder then, if you've made that really bad decision, if you're, I don't know, if there's anyone who's in the final sector who could, I mean, everyone's on the right tyres at the moment, so... I mean,
The only person I can think of is Cyril Hamilton, but he's just started the second sector, so I don't think he'll get in time back in time to make a pit stop.
Yep, indeed. So we're at about half distance through this race, and I think the green flag is back out again, and Langman seems to have got a pretty poor start off the VSC. So now we're going to see whether Feisty Ted can get a good enough run. This looks the closest he's been, but Langman's got a tremendous exit coming through the right hander and holds position for now. And I wonder whether through the final sector, he does look a little bit better though through the final sector. Has to be, nearly locks into the back of him. That's how close he's getting, how much quicker he is through the final sector. And now whoa, he's gone into the air. I'm not sure what on earth.
That looked like lag.
He's made contact with Project. He's lost some of his front wing. What is going on this game today?
That's gonna... Project gonna leave. Project's gone into...
Hope not. But
no, he's not.
No, he's probably recording it.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know whether it's for everyone else as well, but he flew into the air. It was almost like
he flew into the air on my screen.
It's like there was an invisible sleeping police officer, or whatever, sleeping policeman, is that what they're called? On the road? But anyway.
Policeman, yeah.
Yeah. That's basically what that was. And an almighty bump there. From, lag, I'd imagine. But that would have probably taken him a bit off guard, knowing that your car can now fly, just sit spontaneously. So, that's one to watch in the course of the season. Project is still managing to keep up with him, actually. I mean, I'm quite surprised with that. Maybe he has got like higher wings than Feisty Ted, but I mean, well, actually, I wouldn't say he does, because Feisty Ted looks pretty superior against Langman, or whether Langman's just running lower wings. I mean, it's a... Oh, I think that's more front wing.
Did you? Yeah, lost his whole just me that saw that.
Right end plate. Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't like when he was going round. I didn't see a whole end plate off. He's staying out. I don't know what's happening. What's happening?
Gone off there.
I mean, yeah, he's gone off. That's probably normal.
He is
considering he's got wing damage.
So it could actually just be Project, to be fair. Oh, of course, he's lost his front left wheel.
He's just... he's taken out Gorsh. We'll get that on record.
Yeah, for me, there was no contact between the two.
No contact.
No,
I just saw
no contact.
Gorsh's tyre on
contact whatsoever. Oh my goodness me, this is very you would not want to be in Maranzano's shoes right now, would you? Oh, this is going to be... I can only think how much he's wincing, and there's been a he's lost his front wing as well. So Project will be the man at fault for this one. A 3-second side penalty for Bottas for ignoring yellow flags or multiple warnings, I think actually might have been. So now Maranzano has lost some of his front wing. Well, it's not interesting, it's quite blatant, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not really what you want to see. People losing front wings and retiring due to lag. We can't really do much from our point of view.
The only thing that can be done is... Oh, Cyril Hamilton, another penalty. But it's not enough for Langman, because he's 8.2 seconds behind him. So, not enough at the moment. There is lag issues. Maranzano pits. I can't believe Project's not in the pits, because he hasn't got a front right side of his, front wing. It's just completely gone. So
he's lost 10 seconds to Feisty Ted. So, I mean...
Yeah. Whether he should...
Not exactly gaining time.
Well, it's gone really wide through turn 3, so that's not going to be ideal for him.
Melanies should catch up within a lap or two at the rate as... Yeah, he just gained sort of half a second through turn 3.
Now Melanie,
I mean,
very interesting driver. I remember commentating on him through the GP2 days of last season. I mean, he finished second in the championship without managing to take a race victory in 19 or 20 races, I think it was. But he wasn't able to take a single victory. He got beat to the championship by none other than Real Shots. So that was, of course, very interesting for him. And I think actually he managed to get a podium in Mexico in Tier 1 last season. So he has his one podium in this tier to date. I'd like to see how he gets on though, because he is a good lad, very quick driver. And I'm sure probably respected from most. And I know I've got to race against him.
Project's in the pits.
Fun. Finally.
And he's got
he gets a 5-second stop-go penalty. So, wow, there you go. Melanie into P5 then. Well, that's good. At least one Williams is going well in this race. You're also fine with someone like Melanie. He's very good on his tyres. I said that just as he locked up.
Project is left.
But, yeah.
So we're now down to 8 drivers, I think. Correct, yes. Yeah, but all-rounder JP have both left due to incidents and whatnot. Maranzano comes into the pits on a set of the soft tyres. I think he might have lost a bit of his wing in an incident with Matty Bolton that we didn't catch. I saw them switching positions quite a bit. So everyone's sort of spread out now. I think
there
really
are 11
on track.
Yeah. There's 11 laps to go in this race. So there is still time for some drama, as it were. But it's been, there's been a fair too many incidents. It has to be said. There have been a number of incidents, not caused by drivers, but more by lag. So, I mean, it's frustrating. But I'm sure these guys are going to, they can try and drive around the issue. It's difficult, but they will try and, of course, keep it all together. As Bottas now P6 in this race, so he's having a good points haul in that Mercedes. Also, the Constructors' Championship is 20 points. Haas actually lead that, and of course, 93 of those points come from Jason. Feistet's got a penalty. Yeah, so 93 of those points for Haas come from Jason. The other, or maybe even be 92, but the other 3 or 2 come from his teammate Hosu Alzugari, who is out of this race.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best of seasons. Been a woeful season for Josu Algazari. Correct me if I pronounced that wrong, but
I said Alzugari. I don't know.
When I have commentated, he's seemed to have spun here and there, but he's got a point. By the looks of his pace, he's not going to be fighting for the championship. He's just aiming for points, and if all goes well, Haas have definitely got a chance of the constructors the way Jason is dominating this season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what to point out with the other Haas driver, Hosu. He's actually, I believe he was in Tier 2 last year, maybe been in Tier 3 at some point, but I want to say he did have a really good race somewhere right up until he retired. He was right up in, I think it could have been Monza, where he was actually on the podium for a hell of a long duration. And I believe he's one of the youngest in the field as well. Like, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's who I'm thinking of when that name comes into mind. But
I've just looked on Twitter, and Gorsh has put his footage of the project incident, and it is exactly as we suspect it. As Sierra Hamilton comes into the pit lane, expect him to put on a set of the soft tyres. They'll put Langman up into P2, Ted up into P3. Melanie's way too far back to be able to get past Sierra Hamilton. But Ted has got a penalty, bearing in mind.
Yeah,
as well.
True.
But so is Hamilton.
So into the pit, Hamilton
is going to be faster.
Come out. Yeah, he's a whole pit straight ahead of Melanie. So Yeah, he's definitely not going to be seeing that Williams anytime soon, unless, of course, he spins it. Which, of course, I hope he doesn't. But,
Bottas in the pits. He's obviously seen a gap. Matty Bolton also comes in. So he's seen a gap. Maranzano's not going to get past either of them. So, perfect opportunity to put on a set of the softs as he gets held up by the runner, Matty Bolton.
yeah,
I'm guessing Matty's going to go onto a set of the softs as well. Indeed he is. As does Bottas.
Interesting to see what Jason... No, Jason still stays out. Now, he did stop a couple of laps later, didn't he, than Feisty Ted. So he may well be going to the end. But he has now got to negotiate lapped cars. When I say lapped cars, let's bear in mind he's coming up to 6th place. So, yeah.
Yeah, he is. That's Bottas.
He's the floor.
In the Mercedes.
Yeah, Bottas gets well out of the way.
I just want to point out that if it stays like this, Jason's going to have a 63-point lead in the championship over Joe in 2nd place, with SRL Hamilton. Yeah, with SRL Hamilton 3 points behind Joe. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've seen
60
of late.
Melanie's in.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as we've said, seen in the last 2 races, of course, Russia. Joe was in a lot of scraps with the Renaults of Matty Bolton and Gorsh. And he wasn't able to finish very high at all. I believe only P7 or P6 in that race. But yeah, Joe also hasn't finished here. Now, for a man who I believe has actually won a race this year, was it? Did he win the first race?
Australia.
Australia, yeah. It's not a great turn of form, it has to be said. Also, Jason's slowing up.
Is he?
Is anyone else seeing that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm going to check his telemetry.
Not sure.
But no, he's got plenty of... Oh, he's slowing down again.
Just let the back marker
Has he
through.
got a problem on this Haas car? This is crucial.
This is interesting. The only thing I can think of is maybe they are faster than him at this stage because they're on the fresh softs and he doesn't want them all over the back of him. He's got a gap to Langman. That's the only reason I can think of that he would do that. There is no other reason that, unless he has a problem. But if Jason does become fast, end up being fast.
That's a very weird one. I've never seen that.
Yeah. Neither. Yeah. I don't think Langman's going to be able to catch up unless Jason's tyres literally pop.
Off, yeah. Or Jason comes into the pits again, which I, again, can't imagine.
No.
But there are, you know, him slowing up, that does bring a couple of variables into it. I mean, there are a few, because him letting other cars pass, now of course they're on fresher tyres, so they could well be faster, but you would feel him being in the lead of the race that maybe, I don't know, this is quite a weird scenario to be in, because if he catches them back up again, all of what he's just done was utterly, utterly pointless. To an extent. So, this is interesting. Keep an eye on that while I watch.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really much. Maranzano's got a 3-second time penalty. That could be interesting because Matty Bolton's 2.7 seconds behind him currently. So, that could be another 2 points for Matt.
Yeah, Maranzano's actually trying to get past Bottas at the moment in those a battle for P6. Now these two are actually ahead, and Feisty gets another penalty.
I'm gonna just double check something.
Yeah.
So that's Ted's 3rd penalty of the race, and Cyril Hamilton only has 2.
So he's not going to lose out
currently,
just yet. Yeah.
No.
Because of the gap, it's 4 seconds.
Bearing in mind, Cyril Hamilton's on fresh sauce, whereas Feisty Ted has been on them tyres for a long time. So he only needs to get within 3 seconds of him without cutting any corners, without getting another penalty.
Gap has gone down again. Langman is catching Jason. I mean, Jason's got. I mean, he's rolling a dice here, and he's really taking a gamble because.
I don't know whether. Maybe it's a way to save tyres, but. So what lap has he been on these since? Let me double check.
13?
He's been on these 14? Since the end of lap. Well, yeah, from lap 14 onwards.
That can't be tyre wash. I mean, it could be. It definitely could be, actually.
He did well. So he's done. Well, he's done 21 ever throughout his whole stint. He's been very consistent, apart from that one virtual safety car lap where he did a 29.4. Then he went and did a 23.1, 25.8, 23.1 on the last lap. 25.8, so he lost 2.8 seconds on his previous lap, and 4.1. 4.1? Yeah.
Yeah, go with it.
Yeah, 4 seconds. But that's very strange. I don't know why he'd do that.
That is quite confusing.
As Matty Bolton is going up inside of STSF on Bottas.
That's P7. So Matty Bolton, he's having an absolute storm in Tier 1 at the moment. He's been very good, very consistent in this league. It's nice to see. Bottas, though, may try up the inside. Matty Bolton's losing a hell of a lot on the front of that car. Doesn't look like there's any front end on it. He's just understeering so badly.
Maranzano's just pulling out and out on these two drivers. Maranzano does have a penalty, so he's going to want to be doing that.
Yeah.
But Cyril Hamilton.
How can Bottas get through Matty Bolton? I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to under braking. No, he doesn't.
Langman
now has a 3-second penalty. Now this, well, it doesn't actually do too much, but
no, because Ted has 3 penalties. Yeah, Jason's going to. That sort of again helps Jason. So in theory, he's now got an 11-second gap. In theory, you see the problem for Jason is now look who he's catching up to. He's catching back up to these lap cars. And if Jason did come into the pits, he'd be off the podium.
Yeah, well, that's another thing to consider, isn't it? It's not ideal for Jason. That gap is
I mean,
if all come,
Bottas now has a penalty. If all comes to worst and his tyres are going to pop, for sure, it's fine. He's not going to lose. He's not going to be losing points to Joe or anything.
No, yeah.
He's not going to be. He's got a substantial gap.
3 to go, and to be honest, I mean, you're not going to pit now. There is no way that he's going to come into the pits now.
Anyway,
so
the reason he'd come in is if he had a severe problem with a back marker. That's the only.
Yeah, Hamilton is going to finish on the podium. Going to finish on the podium at the moment because he's closed that gap to Vice Ted. It's now 2.3 seconds. The gap between Langman and Jason is 8.2 seconds, but that gap is closing. But we feel that Jason is trying to maintain his pace, maintain his tyres, keep them all at their peak performance, as it were, their optimum performance at the moment. Of what they can achieve for him on the wear that he's got, of course. So
Matty Bolton is right behind. Bottas is right behind Matty Bolton.
Yeah, they're coming down the pit straight once again, and Matty is too far ahead, isn't he? Yeah, is he going to be able to? Well, he's closed up a lot actually through turn 1 and now through turn 2. Once again, in turn 3, it's very difficult with dirty air, and I wonder whether he's going to lose time because of it. No, he isn't. He's actually gaining a hell of a lot of time. Bottas on the back of this Renault, and I wonder whether he's going to maybe chuck one up the inside. No, he's going to go for a little bit of a switchback move, and this could be costly now for Matty Bolton. And as we head down in towards the braking zone, Bottas will try and go all the way around the outside. I'm not sure whether he's going to get it done through there. Indeed, he doesn't. Stays into P8 for now, but he has got DRS meanwhile on the back of this Renault. So as we come down the back straight, watch that, because this is where it gets interesting. Bottas right up behind Matty Bolton. They're going to move side by side down towards the braking zone, and Bottas with DRS gets past Matty Bolton and into P7. of this race, and a nice little move there from Bottas, although Matty Bolton ran a little bit wide on the exit there.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Sarah Hamilton's now right on the back of Ted, and he's just got a penalty. So technically, that evens it out.
On the podium.
They're They're both
for position.
Equal with the. This is now indefinitely for position. Whoever beats
2 laps to go.
Here
we go then. Battle for the podium. Here we go.
I was just about to say, as it stands, Sarah Hamilton would be getting his first podium of the season and moving up to second, level on points with OMG. It's Joe, but I can't say that now because he's just gone and given himself a 3-second time penalty. But
he had a really good race actually in Russia. He come from 15th on the grid and he finished 4th. He definitely got my driver of the day for that one. He was tremendous. And I want to say that guy's name, Spanish. Juan Alcudera. We won't go there. But anyway.
There you go, Colombian.
Colombian?
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay. Matty Bolton's got a 3-second penalty. Ah, no. So, and Bottas gets another 3-second penalty. That could be even Stevens as well. Watch out for that towards the end of the race. But this is what we need to be concentrating on. Hamilton versus Ted for the podium position. A race to the flag now. 6.7 is the gap between Jason and Langman. I don't think that gap's going to reduce. Well, it may reduce some more, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Hamilton isn't going to be close enough to feisty Ted. Now you've got to get ready for what will be a very dramatic final lap of this race for the podium, at least. So Hamilton.
Well, the pitch straight's going to be his best chance of getting past him. He's going to have to be right on the back of him if he wants to go on the second DRS straight, because it's not as long, but he's quite a way back. As you said,
yeah, he is.
If you're 8 tenths back, it's not really going to do much, and that's what he is currently. Don't get me wrong, he is gaining.
Here we go then. But will he be able to get this move down in towards turn 1? He's again not close enough through there, through turn 1 and 2. He needs to get a good run coming through turn 3. You feel if he runs too deep, this could be over for him. As we come through turn 3, he keeps it all nice together. He keeps exactly the same line, in fact, as the guy ahead of him in feisty Ted. Whether he's going to get close enough on these final few corners, we'll yet to see. It looks pretty dominant for Jason. Looks like he may well take the win here today. Once again, his 4th this season. But it's a case of who's going to join him on that podium. Hamilton staying right up behind feisty Ted for now, and I'm not sure. He's getting a bit tighter through there. This is where he needs to make this move count. This is where he needs to get it done. If he's going to get it done indeed through here. Now feisty gets a pretty good run. I don't know whether he's going to be able to get close enough. He's going to just have to go late as he dares on the brakes and locks the 2 front wheels, and he's just trying ever more to get close to the Toro Rosso. I don't think he's got it, although feisty runs a little bit deep through the right-hander, and it's going to be tense now towards the flag. He cannot make any mistakes going into this chicane, and I feel feisty Ted's done it. Jason wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Will feisty Ted join him on the podium? I think he will. Langman will finish in P2 to make his 2nd podium of the year. Feisty Ted does hold on to a podium position, and it's so unlucky for Hamilton, who very nearly finished on the podium. But we need now to wait an awful long time for Melanie, who is going to be coming round. He is only coming in towards the end of Sector 2. And that was pretty close towards the end there, but Hamilton just couldn't get it all done and dusted. Melanie has had a pretty quiet race, to be fair, but he's driven solid from Melanie today. P5 will be pretty happy with that, I should imagine. And Bottas gets a penalty. I didn't even think to look at that.
That could provide something interesting between him and Matty Bolton. Matty Bolton's only a 1.3 seconds behind the Mercedes driver, so that could allow him through.
Yeah. Melanie finishes the race P5 in the Williams. Then Maranzano, after all, he had a collision I say collision, and it wasn't really, it was lag with Project, and around the final corner Maranzano will finish P6. It will be Bottas and Matty Bolton who will make up the final 2 positions there. Bottas losing it on the exit. He doesn't want to lose it all, and I'm not sure he's going to lose it anyway. And he does actually lose position for that, I believe, and it's telling me the stop of Van Dorn's finished in P10. Well, I mean,
we know that's
kind
not
of worried.
true.
It was a league racer once, but of course an iRacing, so it wasn't really. But we'll digress. That was a pretty good race for all concerned there, and your winner for the 4th time this season, 4 in a row, actually, isn't it? For Jason. He is running away with this championship. Absolutely running away with it. And yeah, we're going to see these, hopefully speak to these guys on the podium as well. This is good little scenes to see some very obscure, I guess, F1 teams on a podium. But here we go then. There's your race classifications. Jason from Langman from Feisty Ted is your top 3. We may as well just get those in and give us their thoughts.
Not 100% if Ted has a mic or not, but I know the other two do.
Ted does have a mic. I've spoken to Ted a few times whenever he's done a comp.
Right, okay.
For future reference, lads, Marcus Ericsson gets his best ever finish in Formula 1 with a 4th place finish. So of course, it's SRL Hamilton. Melanie and then Maranzano. Matty Bolton and Bottas round off the finished field. Oh, dear me.
Sweet.
Or hopefully
Jason, yeah. What I want to know is why he did that. Slowed down so much. That was definitely very strange to see. Yep.
I'm sure he was tyre saving.
Yeah, he probably was. That's what we were thinking. Oh, I don't want to invite Matty Bolton. What am I doing? I don't need to do it anyway. Well, there you have it then. So your top 3 for this one. Jason from Langman from Feisty Ted. And we'll go straight to Jason. That is your 4th win on the spin. You cannot be telling me that you... Well, of course, remember to tick your box, lads. But you cannot be telling me that is... You've got to start to be able to expect that you're going to win a race, like more races. And you should surely feel like you're going to maybe dominate this championship. Do you feel that way, or are we just making up crap, as it were?
I hope not, but it looks that way at the moment. I don't know what everyone else had a bad race or something, but
you can blame the bullshit fucking game.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of issues tonight, unfortunately.
I haven't seen so much fucking AIDS in my life. Sorry for the language.
We'll keep this one PG for now. Anyway, Jason, little, as we've said, well, actually no, we'll go to Ringrose because I know he definitely has a question for you. I know he's squawking at me. No, I'm joking.
I wasn't squawking, but we were watching you, and well, you were coming up to the back markers as they were coming out the pits, and you sort of decided to let them back through. And I'm guessing you were tyre saving, but is there any reason as to why you let them back through?
I didn't have to save tyres, but when I come across Ollie, he lagged and I got a bit of rear wing damage, so I just let them through because I think the gap was like 15 seconds or something at that point. And I just stayed back so that they didn't get blue flags as well, because I didn't really want to get involved with them.
No, definitely don't want to be penetrating the back of Bottas. Anyway, can't believe I've just said that. Anyway, GG on the consecutive victories. It's I think the most they've ever had in the league. It's got to be like in terms of consistency in 4 in a row. That's just
some 63 points in the lead of the championship.
Yeah,
as Bosley worked out earlier.
Yeah, we're just walking away with it. You may as well. Anyway, we'll move on to the Langman in P2. I would say you've had a quiet race out there. I mean, you had a battle, I think, towards the beginning of the race. The first race, though, you must have been livid. But, I mean, I'm sure that podium makes up for the last race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going into turn 1, you don't expect to be punted off, and that basically ruined my race, because later on in the lap, Gorsh's decent car ended up taking away my wing, so that basically ruined my race, but thankfully restarted. So I'm happy with a podium, to be honest. I think like I lagged inside of JP or something and he spun mid-corner, so that's definitely not my fault, and I don't know what happened with Feisty Ted.
Yeah, so I did
basically
you desynced into my car and it lifted my car by an absolute mile.
I saw and
I just couldn't be arsed, and then Hamilton fucking pitted, and I thought, oh, just pick up my pace a tad because I just couldn't be arsed.
Well,
And then I just managed to hold it. I checked how many penalties he had, and he had 6. And I was like, and I was watching him through every corner. I was like,
accusations, I'm afraid.
I was looking for a cheeky battle with Langman, to be fair, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Lang, we'll come back to you for now. Of course, I mean, you actually finished you haven't finished. You didn't even compete in Russia, but you didn't.
Oh.
You finished on the podium every time you finished. Let's just say in the league, I believe. Quote me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But do you feel that you're going to be able to really get close to Jason? Because Jason seems to be in a bit of a Vettel sort of form, if you will, from 2011. Okay, all you Hamilton fans, calm your tits, okay? Because that's what I meant. Do you feel that you're going to be able to get close to him as the duration of the season goes on? Have you got tracks coming up that you think, yeah, this is my race?
Well, at the start of the race, like first 3 laps, I was sticking with him, but then I just made a slight mistake. Then it just put me off for this. So just consistency, really. And then I made another mistake, so you probably saw Cyril Hamilton got past, but I can stay consistent and maybe I got a chance, but it's only got to be my good tracks, because like Monaco, for example, it's not happening.
I mean, we don't even know if Jason's going to. We don't know if any of you are going to finish out, to be completely honest. But we'll move on to Vice Ted GG on 2nd place. Ted, as you said, a lot of desyncing, a lot of lag, a lot of, well, just overall bad experiences of the game. There were probably other words I could have used then, but I was going to keep it PG. So, yeah, basically, you didn't. I mean, you had a pretty good battle, but no, it's a difficult one to sort of I don't really know, give a positive out of it. But I mean, we may as well just pose the same question as to the other guys. I mean, you are pretty quick on that pace. I've seen it. We know how quick you are on that pace. So these tracks coming up, we know we've got Monaco next and Canada and whatnot. So these
That's
sort of tracks that right off. Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
I hate that track. It's so bad on the pad. I just can't get to grips with that track. I just can't. On the last game it wasn't too bad, but this game I just can't get used to it.
So I guess are you feeling that it's Jason's title to lose now? Do you really think that you're going to be able to close the gap? Because it is a pretty big gap, let's be honest. So
at the moment I'm just trying to have fun on the game, but I'm just not. But with the race after Monaco, it's sort of the tracks that I do kind of like. So I'm going to try and get some wins after Monaco. But at the moment, the game isn't how it should be for league racing. So I was just downbeat.
Yeah,
I think I've got really good pace on this track, but the way it was, I just couldn't be arsed.
Well, at least he's honest. Well, lads, I guess that is time to kind of round it off. But congratulations to the top 3. You can catch more SRL action if you want. Tier 2 is on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. I'll give that a cheeky plug because there was always good battling when I was commentating on it. All the shots did dominate a lot. Anyway, next up is Monaco in round 6 of the season. It is a track where, of course, you can expect to see about as many finishers as old people have teeth. There's going to be very few left in the bank. So join us for then. It's been a pleasure to commentate once again with Ringrose. For the first time actually with Ringrose. And
yep.
Thank you very much to Bossy for streaming this one. But until next time, guys, bye-bye for now.